My part that I get involved with my company is the cold ironing part, the ship-to-shore issue. Bringing electricity down to the port, providing electricity for the cranes, providing electricity for the ships. Now the first ship's going to come in May 8th, less than 2 months away. It's going to be a big fanfare. I challenge every one of you to bring to the teacher, either your art teacher or your other teacher, an article on it, and maybe they'll give you extra credit for bringing it in. But on May 8th, the first cold ironing ship is going to come in. It's going to go into the ITS terminal, and it's coming over from the Orient, and it's going to be all loaded with various type of things in these containers, and they're going to offload them. So it's going to be a huge deal. Antonio Villaraigosa will be there, Foster, the mayor of Long Beach, will be there, probably the governor will be there. I won't be there. I'm the low guy on the totem pole, but it's going to be a big political deal, because that will be the first ship that's actually plugging in. Now, what does that mean? When you're talking worldwide electricity is a source of power that we all learn to it's just here. You don't necessarily know how electricity is generated, and ourselves as consumers, we don't necessarily know what's involved, and the fact there are different voltages, different types of currents. And when you talk the world, virtually the countries in the Orient have a different system for electricity, as we do in the United States, as they do in Europe. So there are different things for providing electricity, and if you have a ship that's going to go on the oceans, it's going to go to any port, anywhere. It'll go up to Seattle, Tacoma, Washington. It can go into New Orleans. It can go to Rotterdam. It can go to Taipei. It can go to Seoul. It can go to Hong Kong. I mean, there are ports all around the world, and the electricity is all different. So about 5 years ago, we got together with all these different ports, and we said there needs to be a type of uniform plug-in that's used. And they go, what do you mean? Well, you have DC, we have alternating current. Your plugs, if you decide you're going to have a plug that looks like this, and everybody in Seoul says our plug is going to look like this, it's not going to work. So you have to have the same type of connectors so that the ship can plug in. Because literally, it isn't going to be splicing wires together. It's going to be a huge vessel is going to come in, and then there's going to be human beings that go there, and they take an extension cord, and they plug that thing in, and then the vessel will turn its power off, and then something will close on the shore side, and the power will go on. Now, what's that power used on a ship? What operates on a ship if it's going to run with electricity? Does anybody know? What's in? Lights. Okay, that's good. What else operates?
Refrigerators.
Very good. I like that. Bring vegetable products in. They've got refrigerators. That's the biggest load that is on these ships themselves. And so these refrigerators, before, were being run by a generator that was on the ship that was burning diesel or bunker fuel, and it pollutes a lot. What else goes there?
Refrigerator.
A refrigerator, really? I heard that before. But the actual operation of the ship. If you turn a ship off, there's things that are called bilge pumps. How many of you guys have a little, water skiing or something like that? Well, it's the same thing on a big ship. They're going to sink if they don't continue to operate their pumps that keep the water circulating and pumping out. So when they're operating and when they're at berth, they need to have all that operation going. So the electricity that's going to come in is going to be very important. It's going to replace that. Additionally, you've read some things recently that they're going to give people the vessels when they're coming in. They're incentivizing them to switch their fuel to a low sulfur fuel rather than the bunker fuel, and then they'll have them running slower, which is just like in your automobile. A few of us in this room that are a little older remember having a speed limit of 55 miles an hour in California in the United States. That was designed to have us use less gasoline. Same thing works on the ships. If they're running slower, they use less fuel, and it conserves more, puts less carbon up into the air. So that's all working together. Now, the other thing that we're going to see is the ships are going to grow in size. Remember I said some of them have 8,000 units, some of them are going to have 12,000 units that come on them. How many guys have seen those container ships out in the ocean? Okay, they're huge. And if you're in your little boat driving by and all of a sudden one of those things go by, I mean, it looks like you're down at the Wells Fargo building in downtown LA. They're really tall. And so they're going to be bigger. The port itself has to have a deeper channel. And there's a couple channels that allow for the large ships to come in. And there'll be more. You're going to see something called the Gerald Edison Bridge is going to be actually torn down, and there's going to be a higher bridge built there. So these big ships will come in. That will become public in June. There's going to have, how many guys know what an EIR is? You've answered one already. And you're the teacher, you don't qualify. How many guys know what an EIR is? That stands for Environmental Impact Review. Virtually any type of development that goes through the permitting process to be built has to be reviewed for its environmental consequences. And they go through a period of months. They go through a period of review and papers being filed. They go through periods of time where the public has its comments and then back and forth. And these things sometimes take 15 months, 18 months. Sometimes they take years. Sometimes the projects never go forward because they're tied up with red tape. But the environmental impact review is going to be important because each one of these projects that's going there needs to do that. Now, if I could just take a magic wand and go, everything could be done at one time, but it's not all going to be done at one time. You're going to see this stuff in stages. Just like the trucks, they're going to start in June or October with the 1989 trucks. And then they're going to go to everything 1992 and older and gradually ratchet up. The new developments, the new ports themselves, will be all done in stages as well. So you'll see things, they'll come along, and there'll be new projects in various areas. But the vessels themselves, what I was getting at, they're different sizes. So what's happened is the people that have designed where these plugs are coming from, you don't know where the plug on the ship's going to be. It might be in the middle. It might be in the front up at the bow. It might be in the back by the stern. So each berth or each place at the port itself, there's going to be 4 or 5 plug-in stations designed right where the people stand on the land part. Then the vessel comes in, and then they're hoping that that will match up within 50 or 100 feet of where the plug-in is so that the extension cord will be long enough to plug it in. You know, it sounds like something real simple when you're looking at it after the fact, but had they not planned it this way, it wouldn't work. Because if you get one ship that comes in that you plug in the very front, your extension cord's only a couple hundred feet, and your place where it comes from is over on the other side or on the back end of the ship, it won't stretch.